what we do first is a baseline survey of the communities and of the areas where our interventions are going to be actually implemented. And essentially our focus is around our manufacturing facilities. So priority goes to those communities around our manufacturing facilities, and then we carry out a baseline survey trying to assess the needs of the community as to what is their requirement rather than what we perceive as their requirement. So that is a bit of a gap over there, that our perception may not be aligned to the complete perceptions of the community. So the baseline survey gives you a direction on the implementation of projects that we need to then initiate. Our flagship programs have been around community development and women empowerment. In the community development piece, including empowerment of women, we are focusing on women farmers in our geography of Orissa, where we are trying to double the income of farmers through a partner organization called Gram Unnati Foundation, which is working very closely with the farmers of Jajpur, and then we're going to be scaling up by having an MOU with the government of Orissa and go to 9 other districts and replicate this model. We are trying to, of course, reduce the input cost and have a direct connect with the community, with the buyers, so that the middleman is also reduced. There are a lot of challenges, but we find that is the only way of going forward and ensuring that the communities get the price points that they are supposed to be getting. We're also in league with another Japanese organization. It's basically a venture capital company which has come on board in a collaboration with us to work on an incubation center. So we've opened up an incubation center at Gurgaon, and then for startup, agri startups. So this is an accelerator program that we are running at the moment now. It's an accelerator program of getting these startups, shortlisting from 120 who had applied. Out of that, only 3 have been selected, and they are into agri processes. So we want to try out these new methods of improving the farmer's income. There are many other programs that we are doing. The second one of the flagship program that I would like to share is of Disha. Now Disha is a project. It was conducted at Rohad near a plant in Haryana, essentially focusing on women to be trained in stainless steel applications. Applications meaning from cutting, welding, from quality control, and working in a hard environment. Unlike the women who are used to working in a softer environment like IT or hospitality, here they're actually coming to work with stainless steel applications and working on Ardenox factory at Rohad. And not only that, I mean, it was a 4 months program that we are having over the last 1 year. In our factory, we had no women at all. But in the last 1 year, after giving them training, we now have 76 women who are employed in our company, trying to, of course, earn a living through a very decent kind of an environment that they are working in. The third major project is Asmita project. It's a brand of Asmita, wherein a production center has been created at Jajpur, and the women, it's run by women exclusively, do the sourcing, the procurement, sourcing, and production of various items relating to basically clothing, as also for jackets that they are working on for security. And some of their items for also being sourced by Fab India, by JK Handlooms and others. So empowerment of women and community development are a major foci of our growth of our CSR projects. And similar things are being done in different geographies like Hisar and also Visakhapatnam and other locations where we are having our factories. Now here I've just demonstrated to you these projects of ours, especially of women empowerment, are nothing but basically they are related to areas of how we are working to making sure that the demand supply is met. So whether it's farmers, it's a constant demand which is coming from the buyers. It could be local canteens, It is also the local communities who are living around. It is also to do with the big buyers of ITC who will source the material, especially on vegetables and pulses and other areas that we are working. So that becomes sustainable. The demand supply is met. It's the local resources that you are using. It's you're building the capacities and making sure that an entrepreneurial activity is being developed in this area. I've already mentioned to you that there are these areas where we've done a collaboration model with Ramunati Foundation, with Four Leaf Clover, who are doing the selling of the community, the products to buyers. And we've got the government aligned to this project of Krishi Unnati. We launched a formal program in June this year, and the government is very keen to go ahead with the accelerator program. So things are going on, I think, pretty well, and I hope that this becomes a model for others to emulate. And it's one thing that I'd like to share is that I'm not very sure whether scale is the thing for CSR to get engaged. Scale comes after some time. Once you can demonstrate something and you partner with the government, you partner with other corporations, that you reach scale. So our programs are very focused, whether it's education, healthcare, women empowerment, community development, or business and human rights. We are very focused in particular domains, and then I think we can demonstrate and take it to scale. So scale comes after and not prior. We just don't want numbers. Our concept is not numbers. It's not quantity, it is quality. And I think that's an important message that I would like to convey, that quality is critical to CSR when you talk to the community by speaking the language of the heart. And it's all a question of head and heart. Thank you. Working towards the issue of how we encourage volunteering in companies. Now, volunteering, of course, is a challenge by itself. And there are some challenges which I'll touch upon. Because of the time factor, because of the bottom lines that are required to be made by the company employees. So we try to encourage the employees to go over the weekends to overcome that challenge. Or go with the communities, try and teach them on various strengths that they have, from finance to go to self-help groups that we have. We've got people with IT skills to teach our children who are into skill development in information technology programs that we are running. For others, volunteers, to just go with the community and just sit and talk to them and change their behavior. So behavior change is a very major issue. That's where we are encouraging in the field area, how we to volunteer. But the challenges that we faced, yes, one challenge is in a manufacturing complex, when land acquisition takes place, when you move and impact, of course, the communities because of your operations, there are challenges that you face from the community. Initially, you may have given them the accommodation required. You have given them other needs of a school, or a hospital, or aligned to a medical health facility. But they always want more and more. That challenge is there, that you can't only do the compliance piece. So I have to explain to our management, the senior management, and have a dialogue with these guys and tell them that the important thing is that we have to go beyond compliance. By just stating that, okay, an 18-year-old guy, once you have acquired the land, has to be given a job, whereas a 17-year-old or a 14-year-old or a 12-year-old, when you acquired the land, is not required to be given a job. Okay, that's a compliance bit in the R&R policy. But when you actually communicate with the communities, you are there for the communities and realize that they have now come of age and may be given an employment. Therefore, we try and develop their skills and give them employment either in our own company or give them employable skills, more importantly, that they get jobs elsewhere. So those challenges are met with the community. Now, health again. We are trying to, of course, address many issues on health, linking up the health needs of the community with the government institutions. And the idea is not to duplicate systems, but to strengthen the systems. And then when we approach the government, there are challenges around the government. The demand supply from the government becomes also a little awkward at times, that, excuse me, can you do this part? Because this is the need. And I think that's not part of CSR, so I have to tell them that I don't think we can do it. There are challenges around obvious issues of pressure and things, which gracefully we have to accept and take things forward. And sometimes we overcome those challenges, sometimes we carry on with the challenges for some more time. So these are some of the areas where challenges are with the government. And finally, their internal processes. They need to be speeded up. After all, you're having partners for implementation. So one is that the partners need to be paid up on time, and obviously they have to give us sense of doing the work, which means not only the reporting part of it, but actually the monitoring process that we have in our own company. That takes a little while. So that becomes a challenge to release the payments on time sometimes, but we're trying to narrow it down to as minimal delays as possible. And we give them advances also. The challenge remains with the partner organization, which is an equal partner. I don't want them to feel that we are funding them, therefore they are not equal partners. They are equal partners. So the idea is that they should also start giving us reconciliation of the advance that they have taken. So that becomes a challenge for delayed payment. So payment is a major issue sometimes, which I feel is a challenge. And we have taken this on very, very seriously, at least from the CSR standpoint, to educate and inform the finance department and the management, senior management, that they are doing our work. And I'm glad that since I report directly to the chairman, or to Ms. Jindal, who's the foundation, so company and the foundation that I take care of, CSR piece, and that access really has helped from top-down approach, from the internal positioning and bottom-up approach from the requirement and the need positioning. Thank you.